Okay. So I'm going to create a new account. Now, close bot change, we no longer have a snapshot. So what I'm going to do is just do a blank snapshot. Typical 123 Main Street. Okay, sweet. So we're going to create this blank account and do the new setup instructions for CloseBot. Let's go in here. Make sure I'm in the right one. Yep. It's blank. No workflows. All I need to do is create a workflow from scratch. And I want this to be triggered on all channels. If I wanted it to be on specific channels, I would just add those specific channels as the trigger. But we're just going to do a standard customer replied trigger, just like that. So it'll be triggered when on all channels. And again, repeating for the people who just joined, if I wanted this to only respond via like live chat, I would just add a filter on here. Reply channel, live chat, for example. Again, I want this one to respond on all channels. So one trigger and one action. It's a webhook. And all we have to put in here is this endpoint. Boom, we're set up. All done. Now I need to go into CloseBot and we'll create and connect a bot. We're actually going to create two bots for this account and show how we can do the bot switching. Let's create a new bot from our coaching template. Oh, it's August. Okay. Sam is the bot's name, 0 additional delay in seconds. Let's use Anthropic. We'll have it do multi-objective handling, which means it can update multiple fields in one go. Typos at 2% and breakup 65% of our messages. Let's save this real quick. And let's integrate it. Oh, perfect. I don't know which one's which. I'm assuming it's the top one. And let's go in here. I'm going to create a custom field because we're going to show how the bot can conversationally get information, update a custom field, and we'll route to a different bot that's going to be allowed to do appointment booking. Settings, custom fields. Let's do, I like radio button or drop down single. Let's do drop down single. Now this is a coaching bot. I think I have it. What does this one do by default? Bounce back from addiction. Reason for interest in program. Motivation. Just curious. What are some other options? Forced into program. Or family member. Just some random things. There we go. Let me rename this to something other than 123 Main Street to make sure I'm connecting to the right one. Okay, here we go. So for everyone who's just joining, we're building a sub account that will conversationally update a field. And then depending on how that field updates, we'll route to a different bot that'll be allowed to do conversational booking. Super easy to set up CloseBot now. We already created our workflow with just the one action that just triggers anytime a message comes in on any channel. And so that's the trigger. And then the action is sending it to CloseBot on the webhook. We'll look at that again in a second, just to refresh everyone. Okay, let's go in here. I'm gonna make sure for NX, make sure I'm connected to the right one. Nope, I'm not. I picked the wrong 123 Main Street. So let's disconnect and connect to the right one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's our first bot again. We have it connected. It's connected to the right location now. I want this bot to shut off on manual reply. Leave conversations as unread. Friendly and relaxed. That's good. And we're not really stressing about business information, how to respond on this one. I really just want to show workflow stuff. So let's start with let's get a calendar in here. Just a simple calendar is fine. Not on Wednesdays. We're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Perfect. Okay, so we have our calendar in there now. And we have our custom field. And we have our first bot. We're going to do this testing on live chat. So let's get name first. First name is fine. Won't be picky. We need the name, so I'm not setting a max attempt, meaning it's going to make sure to get that before it moves on. And then let's do email. We need the email because we're going to be booking them for an appointment. And then let's update that field. Reason for interest in our program. It kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to do here. It'll update with a single option out of these. Need motivation, just curious, forced into program for a family member. And then here, let's do a timeline. We'll update a field on that one. Okay, perfect. And now maybe that's all we need. Maybe at that point, when it's finished, we trigger a notification to the business owner. We'll probably do that. We trigger a notification to the business owner saying that they should get in touch with this person once that timeline one is finished. Yeah, we'll leave this off. Okay. But for some reason, let's make it so that if the field reason for interest in program has changed to, let's see, what were our options? Just curious. Let's book a call, maybe. So maybe if they were forced into the program or this is for a family member, they need motivation, they have a good idea of what it is anyway. But for some reason, if this updates to just curious, we will route to a different bot that's going to gather a little bit more information or maybe give them some information and then book a discovery call with them. So let's go set up the workflow side of that first. So anytime a message comes in, it's going to send to CloseBot. Anytime any message from any channel comes in, it sends it to CloseBot, and CloseBot's naturally going to respond on the same channel. But we'll do an if. If they need more info, so if that field reason for interest in program is just curious, we're going to go a different way to a different webhook. Make a duplicate of this bot. That way it has the same sort of business information. It's just going to have different objectives. So they've said they need more information. Let's have an objective that's a give info. Now I've seen people go wrong a little bit here. When you use the give info, you really want to put everything in this short description that you want it to give. You can put stuff in here, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to use that. It might use what's relevant, it might not. So I'm just going to put up here, send them a link to our website here. There. So give info, we're just going to send them a link to our website and then book them for a discovery call. So select calendar. Sometimes it takes a little bit to bring in the updated calendars. I could go and grab the link. Oh, I should connect it, I guess. That would do it. Yeah, those fields only get updated when you're connected. So let's connect this bot to the same account. And then we should have access to those calendars. Yeah, again, sometimes it takes a little while. Let's check our other settings. This is going to be a 30-minute Zoom appointment. We will cover how our program works so they can make sure it's the right fit for them. Anytime you're waiting for new fields to update, you can switch to a different bot and come back to this bot that kind of refreshes things, or change something and hit save. So that was enough time. It brought in the new calendar. And now this one is set up as well. So this one is bot 15136. That's our need more info. So I'm just going to put it up here in the title. 15136. And then we will put bot 15136. In here, let's put in bot 15135. When you have multiple bots connected to the same account, by default, if you don't send a bot number in here, it's always going to pick the lowest numbered bot number. Otherwise, if you specify, it's going to use that bot number. So here we're saying if the field was updated, so if it's just curious, it's going to send it to this bot for giving them more info and then conversationally booking them to an appointment. If it is not just curious, that means they have all the info they need. We don't need to do a discovery call with them. We're going to just send to our normal bot. And then let's just just a notification for our business owner. So that if the contact has changed in the field, goals accomplished, has added timeline. So if they did stay on that first bot track and we got their timeline, we will just notify the business owner. Okay, so let's recap how things are working. We have this first closebot workflow that's triggered anytime the customer applies on any channel. Our first bot is going to be working to get the name, updating that name field, get their email, updating the email field, finding out their reason for interest, updating that reason for interest in program field. Now, at this point, if it updates that field to just curious, it won't be routed to that 15135 bot anymore. It won't be routed to this one anymore. It will be routed to that other bot. And that other bot at that point is going to give info. We have that one give info objective, and then the conversational booking. If it stays on this bot, it's going to get timeline and then notify the business owner when it's received timeline. Now, here is the thing about bot routing. At this point, okay, we have sent the message to 15135. And maybe you said, I'm just curious in the program at 15, and it sends it to 15135. So bot 15135 is going to be the one that responds. It's going to ask about timeline. And then it only switches to the new bot when a new message comes in. So it might look like it's still on this bot. It's not. It only switches to the new bot when that new message comes in. Then it will be sent to the other bot that will give info and then book the appointment. Okay. Now let's go put our web chat on a website and we can test it out. Go to sites. New live chat widget. I'm fine with the standard stuff. Create a new website. Just a test site. We're going to throw our chat widget on here and we'll all be able to interact with it. There we go. So we have our website, and then we'll need to go to settings and add that live chat widget and save. Preview the link here. I'm going to click send a message and just make sure we're all connected perfectly. Perfect. So I'm going to share this link with you guys, and then we can test it. Okay, there we go, guys. Link is in the chat. Go ahead and go to that page and start testing. For follow-up, good question, Michael. We obviously don't have our snapshot anymore, but if I wanted to add a follow-up, I could create a new workflow, and I'm going to have an article out today showing how to do this. And maybe after a 5-minute wait, we want a follow-up to be generated. That same endpoint, and then in custom data, you just set follow-up to true. And when this gets executed, it will tell CloseBot to generate a follow-up and send it as a message. Now we need to get a way for people to get in here. So let's go back to our CloseBot main workflow that we made, and maybe we only want to follow up if they're on this bot. All we have to do is we'll do a remove from workflow. And I'll explain what I'm doing here. And then add them to workflow. So anytime a message gets routed to this bot, it's going to remove them from that follow-up workflow and then add them back to it. All that does is resets that timer. So let's go back to the workflow, follow-up. I see right now that we have Josh in this follow-up stage. So if Josh didn't respond for 5 minutes, it would execute this follow-up stage, and then he'd be out of it. Now, if I wanted another wait and another follow-up, I could do that too. Something that's changed in these workflows as well, you'll notice we don't have checks in the workflow itself to see if AI off tag is on the contact. That AI off tag controls whether or not the bot is going to respond. We do that on our side on CloseBot now. We found that sometimes actions in Go High Level, even ones as simple as adding a tag, can take up to 5 minutes to complete. Usually it's about a second, but even that second matters. So we do that check on our side now. It's much quicker, which is why we don't have another check up here for that AI off tag. Okay, let's go look at some of these conversations. So I sent a manual message to whoever this is. I don't know because we don't have the name yet. And see how it added the tag AI off. That's because I have that setting turned on to shut the bot off if there's a manual message sent. let's say I jumped in here and then, you know what? I'm going to jump back out. I'm the business owner. I'm busy now. I do want to go away and work with my clients. So I removed that AI off tag so that I know the bot will continue to engage with this person. And if we had back and forth conversation here, the bot would know about those back and forth messages, even though it was not the one having that conversation, even if it was the business owner and not the bot. Okay. Okay, so Josh is having a good conversation with it. It looks like it updated to need motivation. It got the timeline. And now, since I don't have the stop when all objectives are done turned on, it's just going to keep going. Let's look at our goals accomplished. Looks like we got name, email, reason for interest, timeline. I should have a notification in here. I've never actually used these notifications. Yeah. So when that field changed to add timeline, it triggered to do an internal notification for all the users in this account. Hey, I want someone. Oh, perfect. Where's my field? Do you recommend updating to the new snapshot? I mean, nothing changes. That's the thing. Addressing selling solar's question. Um, that really it operates exactly the same. It's just a bunch of workflows you have in your current snapshot are now doing nothing. So if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Would be my suggestion. Okay, so it got your email. And the just curious might be a little vague for it to accept that as a reason. So I might have to put in here. That's an acceptable reason. Just curious. And maybe even turn the sensitivity down. For those of you who don't know, sensitivity is how strict it's going to be on determining whether or not that objective is complete. So if I turn the sensitivity all the way up to 99, pretty much no matter what this person says, it's not going to accomplish the objective. It's going to be so strict that it's never going to accomplish it. Versus if I turn this all the way down to 1, pretty much no matter what they say, when the message comes in and it's on this objective, it's going to accomplish it and update the field to the best of its ability. I can go to my dashboard. That's why these live build calls are so great. We get to troubleshoot live. So let's go into this person's right here. Current goal, reason for interest is what it's supposed to be working on. Here we go. We got a just curious. So it was after me updating that field. To make it a little less strict. So updated to just curious and then was working on timeline. Remember, it's not going to switch until the next message comes in, which is fine. It's okay that it asks about timeline. Just know that when that message comes in, it's going to be on our new bot over here. Okay, so we had that give details about program come out. Again, that's because it determined that this person was just curious. And so we had it set up to route them to this other bot if they're just curious and give info first, which it did, and then conversationally book them. Now, if I wanted it to end the give info with a question, I could have said that. I could have said, give info, I need you to give out this, this web address and then ask them if they ask them their availability for an appointment. That way, at least it would have ended in a question in addition to giving that info. Right now, when we have a statement objective, it does that and delivers. It's not going to do that and look at the next objective and link them together to give one combined question. So it wouldn't, give that address and then continue to ask them for their availability. Let's see. This testing person, if you could respond so we can check out this conversational booking, that would be awesome. Yeah, Josh added the AI objectives complete because he made it all the way through to timeline, and we have it set up to add that tag AI objectives complete when all the objectives are complete. You can use that to trigger other things. Like if you want to trigger a notification when the tag AI objectives complete is added. That's another way that we could have notified the business owner. Ooh, yes, Eric. Let's check this out. So, known issue right now with Anthropic. It is much better at conversation, at lead qualification, at making people feel heard instead of just seeming like an assistant. What it's not good at for some reason is staying in the same language when it's doing its follow-up. For some reason, it really likes Spanish. Let's go and troubleshoot this. This will be fixed finally today. I came up with a great solution for how to fix this, but I'll show you how squirrely AI can be. Where's that Spanish message? So remember, anytime you want to know why your bot said something, click the message and click over to either main if it's a normal message or follow-up. So here we're telling it, You're a master at generating follow-up messages that get a response after being ghosted for a bit. Now we dynamically change this. So if it had been a day, we would say a day, or 3 days or weeks, months. We dynamically change this time frame, rephrase the message to Eric to get an answer to the objective of getting his email address. Response should be in a friendly, relaxed voice, less than 150 characters, blah, blah, blah. Always respond in the same language used in the message to follow up about. You will be given the message to follow up about. Here we're giving it a message and telling it to generate a response. And for some reason, when we say, make sure you're using the same language, it sees language and thinks, okay, I need to pay attention to this language. And then it must think, trick question, the specified language, so it must be important. We're going to pick Spanish. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use an external API to see the language, and we're going to instruct it specifically to follow up in that language. So it's going to say follow up in English. Or if it comes in and if this message is Spanish or Arabic or whatever, it's going to detect that with our external API and then instruct it specifically to follow up in Arabic or English. Okay, let's go back and keep looking. Okay, it's going into conversational booking because this was the person who said they're just curious. Yeah, Stephen, AI is cool. That's a word for it. So I'm just going to go on a little side note here. There are people all over the internet who are saying, don't use a builder, don't use anything that's dynamically changing the prompt. Just put it all in the prompt, let the AI do its AI thing. But we see examples like this where we are using the strongest model. Okay, it's not like we're using GPT-4o mini or anything. We're using the strongest model that Anthropic has to offer, instructing it to come up with a follow-up, and it's totally botching a very simple prompt. Now imagine if we loaded a ton of information in there and it was supposed to do a bunch of stuff. That's when you start seeing it, like people like to use go off the rails more. So this is the way to go. Objective builders are here to stay. It's been this way since the beginning, 2 years ago, and it's going to be this way for the foreseeable future. Our V2 product will allow you to build multiple objectives into the same prompt and dynamically change out multiple objectives. So we're building for the future where AI becomes a little bit more capable, but will always stay objective focused. Okay. So I'm going to allow you guys, raise your hand if you have any questions. Thank you for bearing with me. We have just as many people in here as before when I had my tech issue. So raise your hand if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer anything at all. Okay, Josh.
Hey, Bryce. So quick
Hey,
question. I really like the old way. I figured out how to do that. So is there a way when I like upload it to a new account, it'll come up as the old version, or will it come up as the new version? I guess is what I'm asking.
you can totally use the old snapshot.
Okay.
Both work. The only difference is with the old snapshot, none of the workflows do anything except for the process message workflow and the 1-day follow-up workflow.
Okay. So if I want to have those, I just copy those over, then throw those into my new accounts. Perfect. Cool.
Yeah, totally. Totally. That totally works.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. We had a question. Can I delete them then? If you have not modified them, absolutely. Yes, but if you've done something like in your set last communication type workflow to like filter out based on response and tag people accordingly, and then have the tags trigger other things. Obviously, if you delete that workflow, you lose all that custom stuff you did that does other stuff, and then it would cause issues. But if unmodified, absolutely, you can delete them. Appointment booking ratios per channel anytime soon? Yeah, I assume you're talking about the image that I released where I went into messages per channel. I did release the appointment booking ratios per channel. I'll Let me see. I'll post that in the group again. Okay, let's see. Mike. There we go. Mike, go for it.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I just started building bots to your system recently. I mostly service.
Welcome.
Yeah, man, it's been great. Thank you so much. It's really very intuitive, really cool stuff. So my first immediate question, and sorry, this is a little bit of a noob question. I started
No,
building
you're
these
you're
bots in
fine.
like a okay. I already have like 50 bots in our lists. We decided, and this might be the wrong decision, but we decided to build a different bot for every pipeline, and we have 5 pipelines in our snapshot. So and I added the first 10 clients to this, and all of a sudden I have 50 bots I'm managing. I'm probably doing something wrong. Like, do you think I should use fewer bots? And also, do you think I should maybe use like the white label function or like to manage all these bots that we're creating?
What are the stages of your pipeline?
Well, the first one is leads, and then the next one, and we are literally switching when we get to. So that's with the main goal of setting an appointment. Once they set the appointment, we have another bot that we're using for the missed appointments or for appointment scheduling or appointment, excuse me, reminders. Then we have a missed appointment bot. Then we have a customer service bot when they're on the other end of that. So you get the idea. It's like we sort of broke it down into each one of these individual little pieces. Then we have a renewal bot. So basically whatever stage the client's in, we wanted to have a bot that was ready to embrace them. The problem I was having was the bot was basically saying, "Hey, how are you?" and treating them like a fresh new lead every time they came in and started talking because like if you were trying to reset it and have the bot communicate with them and do customer service, it was sort of we were having problems with the exact wording because it was treating you know old customers as if they were new leads. So we
But
decided to break the bot up into all
here's
these different.
something you can do to consolidate some of them.
Right.
Um, like your customer service bot. Are you doing that for like existing customers or people who have already purchased a product or people who have a tag or something like that?
Yes, they will have all three of those are correct.
So
Existing customers also have tags, and yes, they've also purchased.
what you could do is if your existing customer tag is added, maybe we have a tag existing customer. So if the tag existing customer is added, we
I see
could
what I think I see what you're doing, but yeah, please go ahead.
update a contact field and we'll update the goals accomplished field. I'm not sure if you know this about the goals accomplished field, but if I check mark these for the bot, it skips them. So we could say, hey, if we select this as an existing customer, skip all objectives. Now then it has no objectives and it innately turns into more of a customer service bot. If you needed to give it extra push,
Yeah,
I'll
we
go.
were basically setting appointments to different calendars. So, we wanted to say, like I wanted the type of engagement where it would set an appointment aggressively when they first come in. Then, okay, now they've set an appointment, so we're going to answer questions for a day or until the appointment happens. Then after the appointment happens, they're customers, and we want to, if they reach out to us, it's because they have a question or an issue, and we need to set another appointment to get them into a customer service, call, right? So
You
I
could
wanted
probably
to,
get creative and do skipping on that. So start out all new contacts with the goal accomplished, booking number 2 checkmarked, so that they're going through to the booking stage, and then that second one is already checkmarked. But if a message comes in after a certain number of days or whatever, you could uncheck mark that so that it would go through, and now that's uncheck marked. So it's going to try to book that second appointment. Do you know what I mean? Let me share an article on skipping objectives. And are you aware that you can dynamically book to different calendars with one bot? Here, there you go.
yeah, sorry, my dog was barking, so I muted myself for a second, then I
You're
couldn't
good.
unmute myself. Sorry, what was your question one more time?
Are you aware you can have one bot book to different calendars?
I
Dynamic.
just saw that. I just saw that feature, so I need to figure out how to do that.
Well,
And yeah, that would just be
2
purely
pieces of
based
homework.
on a pipeline stage. Then that would be great. Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let me send you 2 pieces of homework. Chew
Okay.
on this for a while, and then if you have any questions at all, live chat support, Facebook group, we're here to help. Where is this one? Yeah. So 2 articles, go grab these links.
Yeah, I would love to learn more also about supporting all the bots, the clients with a white label system versus just building my own bots and connecting them to open AI, projects or whatever. It actually, so I'm a bit new to your community. It does look like Anthropic is better. So we were prepared to go with OpenAI with all this stuff, and now I'm looking at the responses for the appointment setting bot. Like, well, it just looks like Anthropic is doing a better job. So
It really
yeah.
is. The only thing is the Spanish follow-ups. Sorry about that. When when we're working with, I mean, we tested the bejesus out of this thing, but I mean, we ran maybe 3 or 4 things through the follow-up stage, and it didn't do Spanish on any of them, and we would never think that that's going to be a problem. So when people started having that problem, I mean, we don't find out those problems until you run thousands of messages through. So yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be fixed. But other than that, yeah, it's awesome. I love Anthropic.
Well, so right now we have the goal of getting all of our clients to go create their own Anthropic logins and get their own Anthropic API keys, and then switching those out, which means it's sort of like managing those 50 different bots we have in there, right? So again, that's sort of back to
Yeah.
I probably need to pay somebody to like one of these agencies to get on and go over like just my management of the bots for about an hour and just look at everything. And
That could really help your use.
right.
Also, since you are new to the community, anyone who's not new knows that we are rebuilding CloseBot from scratch right now.
Right.
One of the big things we're building into it is thinking about scaling for you agencies, making it easy so that if you own an agency, when you add a sub account, it automatically it automatically creates a source in your CloseBot account and connects that source to the bot so that it's all automated. Yeah, we know it's a pain in the butt and we're fixing it.
Yeah. Well, that was the only. I mean, even that, like we created a naming structure so that we can go through and find each one, but it's still going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So we basically have the different bots broken into numbers, so we can, and then we have the name of the of the location with the bots in. So we need to go find every 1.1 bot and go make it 1.2. And we're creating our own version numbers like that, which we can manage it. And look, if we have 1,000 clients, that's a success problem, right? But what?
Yeah. Let me jump over to Eric.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Hey, same to you. So I had actually posted in the chat, and think it was Boaz had replied related to so I have a bot set up for an investment, a debt investment that my company is doing for our RV resort.
Okay.
And sometimes people just jump straight to they don't even like want to mess around with the bot. They just say in the first message, I have $125,000 and I want to get on a call immediately. And Boaz was saying that, if I go in and I start looking for certain phrases, that could be a way where I split the trigger right at the top, pretty much where the AI on, AI off check is, and branch out so that if anybody says that phrase, they get tagged and then it goes to that different bot. It goes straight to my booking bot because I have 3 layers of bots. I've got a receptionist, I've got the middle section, which is the capital raiser or the investor bot, or a customer service bot, and then it's got the booking bot at the end. So is the looking for a phrase the best way, or somebody else had mentioned that they actually push the like initial message to ChatGPT to find the intent to make sure that they are actually saying that they want to book versus I have 125 grand, don't book me a call. If somebody were to say that as
Here's
their
something you
initial.
can do now. So this is a new field in everyone's accounts now. If you don't have it, just disconnect and reconnect your bot and it'll add it for you. Latest AI response. And we could come into the bot. And this works if you don't have like a ton of different cases where you want to add different tags, this will work just fine. If they want to jump straight to booking, say so you want to try to find a way to get it to generate text that you can use to trigger something. So here, let me check availability, dot, dot, dot. I'm going to create a workflow to see if the text in latest AI response contains let me check availability. And if it does, then I could check mark all those goals accomplished except the booking and just have it jump straight to booking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And one other thing with the main bot, the capital raising or the investor bots, um, right now our widget on the site is just booking to one of our calendars out of I think we have 5 calendars total. And at some point, I would love to have a page where for us to get rid of the need for a discovery call, we just have them interact with that same bot. But now their objectives are, if we skipped all the objectives because they gave us like some of the basic information, but not all of it, I would want to kind of refresh the bot so that I can get all the objectives to fill out their profile and then book them into that next step or next stage, which is an investment call. Um, if I do this route where we check the latest AI response, it goes through all the objectives and just checks them off. Do we, if I wanted to send them to a second stage or a second level bot, what would be the best way for me to say, okay, reset the objectives that are, if the objective field is blank, reset that objective and then go through the conversation so that I can fill in the blanks versus it being just by default filled in already?
Yeah. So you want people to be able to book first if they ask for
Yep.
it and then continue to fill out the profile. But the default is fill out the profile, then book, right?
Yep.
So in that case, yes, you could have a workflow that says trigger when an appointment is booked. If this field is blank, reset the goals accomplished field. And you can totally reset it because we track goals that have actually been accomplished. So we'll know that booking has already been accomplished. And when we respond, we'll check mark that booking one again for you. but then the other ones will be uncheck marked. And so it should go back. It will go back and ask for, name, email, phone, whatever other profile based ones you had there.
So one thing I've been doing is even in the beginning, I'm putting it as skip objective field. If the field's present and it's not blank, skip it in the beginning because I have a feeling that I was going to be cycling through the conversation in this way where they do the booking, and then we invite them to a special page where it's like, if you want to skip the discovery call and just give us all the information we would ask from you, it would cycle back to the beginning and it would skip all those objectives if they gave them their name for that booking call, or any other info.
Yeah, that'll work perfectly. And then anything it doesn't have, anything that's not blank, it'll conversationally get those still.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check out that. I'll go look for that latest AI response. I haven't seen it in my GHL backend yet, so I'll reconnect and check it out.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
Let's go with Adi, since I haven't heard from you yet.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome, Bryce.
Hey.
I really, really love the bot. It's been amazing so far.
Thank you.
Yes, one thing I'm struggling with is I have a very unique funnel. So basically, after I find out that my highest converting funnel is basically after a lead is reaching out throughout my ad, I basically ask him, I look at the earliest time in my calendar and ask him, will tomorrow at 6 p.m., for example, will work for you? And only after you say yes, I proceed with the other objective before I book him. And I notice that it really confuses the bot because
it has to book.
Yeah, and do you have any
You
idea
could try setting the max attempt limit on the booking objective to 1. So it will only try the booking objective once. And then when that next message comes in, it's going to stop and it'll be on the next objective. But on the next objective after the booking objective that it is skipped, you may want to put in that extra prompt field, do not confirm an appointment here. So that might look like this. Let me show you. We have our one calendar objective. And then maybe we want to go on to get their reason for interest. Okay, so I'm going to set the max attempts on this to 1, meaning it's not going to work. It's going to fail. Because that first message it sends out is number 1. So when that message comes in from the contact, it's going to move on to reasons for interest. And in here, I just want to clarify. Do not confirm an appointment right now. Sometimes AI will see what it said before and it'll see that it suggested a time. And if the person comes back with, yes, that works, it may say, great, we're booked. Even though we're trying really hard to not get it to do that. It should be moved on to reason for interest, but AI really likes to confirm things. So this will just establish that. Now, it's not checking for a yes intent here, and it's only trying once. So if it said, 6 o'clock, and they said 6 o'clock doesn't work, I'm busy until next week, it would still move on to the next stage. So it doesn't do exactly what you're wanting.
Okay. Do you have any like? I'm sure there are options out there that are more simpler than that, right? I'm sure.
Something else you could do is do a conversational booking stage and then have automations on the back end to cancel that appointment and not send an email. And then, so it's technically, it's really booking an appointment, but not notifying them of it. And then it would move on to the next objective, canceling that first appointment and then have a real booking objective later. These are all just kind of workaround ideas.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. And is the templates available for if I have a single bot, are templates available? Because it's only for if I have
No,
Okay.
but these templates are really just to get an idea. So whatever bot you started with is enough of an idea. None of these bots are really going to do much until you modify them anyway. So I suggest just really getting comfortable with these articles, read here to learn more about objectives, get comfortable with that. Look at the examples in those articles and then build out your own custom one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryce.
Yeah. Josh.
So I don't know if this is a bot question or go high level question, just like a yes or no answer would be more than enough. I don't want to waste too much time. I'm building a bot for a roofing company where the roofing company is reaching out to the adjuster to make sure they're on time and all that kind of stuff. And basically it's just like, hey man, where's my money so we can get this thing finished? And their question was if the adjuster says anything about needing the invoice or any kind of photos or anything of the roof, is there any way that the bot can send that invoice to them? Or is that like a go high level workflow situation, or how does that go about?
Do you have the invoice on the contact?
We will, yes.
So something you can do similar to, because it could happen at any point in the conversation, I assume.
Correct, yes.
So similar to how we were showing this to try to get it to say something specific.
Yeah.
Maybe say, and then we would be looking for, let me send that to you in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that exists, trigger a message to go out with that invoice attached.
Perfect. Sounds good, man.
That should do it. Okay. Sweet. Well, went over time, but love answering your questions. Thanks, guys. I'm going to hop off. This will be on our YouTube probably in the next few days. Check it out. Comment, subscribe so you see all of our videos when we come out with them. I will be updating all of our documentation to show the new no snapshot setup and the new fields that we added. So thanks everyone for all your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye.